Welcome to your 6-month roadmap to adding 7 figures in revenue to your e-commerce brand by June 2025. This is an actionable playbook you can use and implement to scale your e-commerce brand by using CRO and split testing and dominate your niche. And the best part of this is that these are the exact strategies I've used in my agency to scale 7 and 8 figure brands over the past 12 months. We've built dozens of funnels and split tested many different e-commerce stores for our clients at the agency to help them increase conversion rate, AOV, revenue per visitor, and overall profitability to help them scale incrementally over a long enough time frame. So if you want to work with me and my team and your e-commerce brand is doing at least 60 to 70K a month in revenue, then you can book a free audit call in the first link in the description. And by the end of this video, you'll have access to these strategies to be able to implement them for yourself and scale your brand over 2025. So here's your plan to add $1 million plus in revenue before June 2025. What we're going to cover today is a time frame from January to June, going from data and auditing your brand and understanding your customer and your target persona to be able to sell your product more efficiently and understand why a target customer of yours is in the market for a solution, what are the pain points, the problem, the solutions they want, and the emotions they go through while searching for the solution. February, optimizing and using this data to make your current situation better and optimize your current pages without branching out still to funnels, all different offers, stuff like that, but optimizing the current situations and what you have to be able to make your marketing spend more efficient, to be able to then branch out and implement and test more offers, more funnels. Then going for March, actually starting to split test offers and testing many different price anchoring strategies or AOV increasing strategies to present better offers to your customers. April, angles and funnels, how to branch out to and test many different angles to attract different customer personas to your product. Your product might solve different problems and may have different solutions for different people. So how you can use angles and different selling angles on different funnels to sell those to your customers, and using different funnel types to sell to different prospect types, so cold prospects, warm prospects, and hot prospects. Then going through May, iteration, so how you can actually take all of this information, all of this data, all of this knowledge base you've built, of all the information you built on your customer audience and all the information you've tested, to iterate upon and improve and optimize what you have. And then we are going to start actually step 1 from June, so I can give you a vision and an idea of what's behind all of this work, what's on the other side. After we're going to implement all of these things and use CRO to your advantage and use funnel testing to your advantage, what's there on the other side? On the other side, there is domination, and I'm going to give you the vision about that right now. So right now, you're in June 2025, 6 months from now. In 6 months, you've shifted from growth that feels unstable to results you can depend on. Revenue growth, you've unlocked an additional 1 million in revenue by combining smarter positioning, stronger funnels, and better offers. Higher conversion rates, you've identified and fixed the high drop-off points in your pages and optimized every part of your funnel. Target execution, your messaging and targeting are hyper-focused on the customers who actually convert and who you want to have as customers for your brand. Smarter ad spend, your paid traffic is directed into high-performing funnels that multiply every dollar spent. Confidence in execution, every change implemented over the last 6 months, remember it's the time frame from today, January 2025 to June 2025, every change implemented over the last 6 months is backed by testing, real data and measurable results. So no more guesswork, no more random changes. You're going to have the data to back your testing on. What does this actually look like? So as we said, 1 million added revenue built by compounding small measurable improvements that add up over a long enough time frame. This is the focus and the main goal of CRO and testing. Measurable improvements, single small improvements that add up over a long enough time frame. AOV up 20-30%, smart upsells, bundles, and pricing strategies that align with how your customers shop. Conversion rate improves by 25-50% by addressing friction points on your PDPs, checkout flows, and landing pages. Lower customer acquisition costs by 30%. Your ad spend now supported by higher converting traffic funnels, increasing efficiency with every dollar spent, and increased LTV, offers, retention strategies, and a better post-purchase experience have boosted customer loyalty. And all of these numbers are conservative. I'm trying to be as conservative as possible here because with clients for us that we've worked with, we've seen even better numbers than these in a six-month time frame, 9-month time frame, 12-month time frame, over a long enough time frame. These improvements stack and scale and they become very, very big. So through all of this growth, what was the actual role of CRO and funnels? So your growth was the result of strategic changes over these last 6 months. Remember, right now you're in June 2025, that made every part of your funnel more effective. So precise split testing, every element was optimized through experiments. So it's not random guesswork. It's not just applying changes and looking at data after and then just trying to see if there was an improvement or a decrease. You're going to actually test these changes, experiment these changes. So you're going to get clear results, clear data, clear metrics to look at to understand what went wrong or what went well with your changes. Hyper-specific funnels. Instead of dumping all of traffic onto generic PDPs, audiences were funneled into specific pages, listicles and advertorials to educate cold traffic, sales pages and PDPs for urgency-driven sales, quiz funnels to segment customers and match them to the right product, and many different funnel types. I have a video on my channel segmenting different funnel types you can use to increase your conversion rate in AOV. I'll leave the video in the top right card here on YouTube so you can go watch that after this video. Targeted offers, so testing bundles, testing discounts and upsells to find a combination that maximize revenue without eroding the margins. Data-driven decisions, so heat maps, scroll depth analysis, and post-purchase surveys informed what changes to prioritize, so the data and what you need to do immediately, which we're going to go over in January to understand your customer. And then again, customer-centric positioning, so every piece of copy, every offer, and every funnel is aligned with your audience's need and intent. So now let's get back to today. Actually, now that I've given you the vision of what can be for your e-commerce brand in the next 6 months over to June 2025, if you want all of this, here's what you need to act on. Are your pages optimized to convert, or are you leaking traffic? Do your funnels segment cold, warm, and hot audiences, or is everyone landing on the same generic pages? Does your copy speak directly to customers' pain points, or is listing features that don't drive actions? By starting today to implement and answer these questions, you can build up your AOV, your CVR, and your LTV without waiting for your next campaign to underperform. You develop funnels that consistently scale without depending on ad platforms, and you align every part of your messaging, targeting, and offers with what actually works and with what will scale your brand over time. Now that you have the vision of why this is important, we're going to go over on section 2 to January. So actually today, what you can start to do today to apply these changes over the next 6 months, starting from the foundation, which is every breakthrough starts with a clear understanding of where you're losing and where you're leaving money on the table. So you need to know where these leaks are before we actually start implementing things. So phase 1 in January is the time to audit your store, collect data, and prioritize the changes you need to make. So you need to identify first traffic drop-off points. So where the traffic drop-offs the most, where are you losing eyes that you're spending money on that you need to leverage, where are the users dropping off, PDPs, carts, checkouts. The data will show you exactly where to focus first in your current situation. Customer behavior insights, so heat maps, session recordings, and analytics tell you how customers are interacting with your pages and what's stopping them from making a purchase. Competitor analysis to see what's working or not working in your niche and how your positioning in the market affects your brand to your competition. Then after that, you're going to need to have an audit process to be able to understand and categorize all of this information. There's a lot of things here you can go to. It's basically infinite the amount of questions you can ask yourself to understand why your brand is performing, how it is performing right now. We're not going to go through all of these questions because there is a lot of things you can really go through here. But some of the most important are step 1 and 2. So messaging and positioning, this is one of the most important things. So does your value proposition resonate with your audience and clearly address their needs? This is one of the most important points if I had to pick one from this page here. So messaging and positioning, super important. Obviously, funnel drop-off points are also very important. Where are visitors exiting most often? Homepage, cart, checkout, product page, landing page. You need to be able to understand that immediately. Do your analytics reveal any usual bounce rates or high traffic page? Are there friction points in your funnels? Are your offers structured in a way that maximizes AOV and or MRR if you have MRR funnels, so bundles, tier discounts, and upsells? How you're tailoring offers and messaging for different customer segments, so first time, returning buyers, cold buyers, warm buyers, hot buyers, things like that. Are you actually tracking the right metrics? So for example, a metric that a lot of people don't track in e-commerce, revenue per visitor, comes along with split testing. It's super helpful. It combines CVR with AOV basically. And how does your pricing and your positioning on the market compare to your competition? And is it positioned correctly for the audience and for what the customer audience is looking for? When you start collecting this data, obviously you'll go through a lot of information about your customers and about your brand. So you need to start setting priorities. So here, how you can prioritize based on impact, because you obviously want to go through first the changes that are going to give you the most impact for your brand. So first of all, above the fold optimization is one of the easiest, most straightforward things you can do based on the information you've categorized. 100% of your traffic sees this, so it's the first place to focus on. Improve headlines, offer explanation and value propositions, especially if you're sending your traffic to the PDP and you need to start optimizing your current page, then this is one of the most straightforward things you can do. High traffic pages, so obviously focus first on, as I've mentioned, PDPs or landing pages where the majority of your visitors are dropping off. This is obviously to make sure that you're leveraging all of the ad spend you're pouring in on ad platforms to send traffic to your pages. Friction in checkout, cart abandonment can often be fixed with small tweaks. So pages that every single one goes through. So for example, carts and checkouts, all of the buyers that are going to buy from your brand or are going to abandon are going to go through these pages. You can fix these things with small tweaks and have a big impact on your current situation. So trust pages, simplified forms, removing unnecessary steps and making everything easier and much simpler. And then add to page alignment to make sure your traffic is landing on pages that deliver exactly what your ad promised. Mismatches in this case from ad to pages is a massive killer for conversion rate and revenue in general. So by the end of January, you should have a plan of attacks. You need to build a plan to how you're actually going to tackle these things in the following up months. You need to have a prioritized action list based on the data you've categorized. You'll know which changes will have the most immediate impact. You need to have a defined testing goal. So you'll set up your first round of split test for February, focusing first on what we've mentioned are high impact changes. So changes that impact your bottom line heavily or are the changes that go through the most amount of your traffic. Customer insights library, a deeper understanding of who your best customers are and what drives their decisions. So a big knowledge base of information that you know about your customers and what they want from you, what they want from your solution, what they want from your product to solve their problem. And then a funnel audit results to understand clearly where your traffic is converting and where it's getting stuck and it's dropping off from your brand. Phase number 2 in February. Now, after you've collected all of this information in January, you need to start tackling top priorities. So focus on making changes that move the needle across your entire funnel. Traffic alignment to ensure your ads and landing pages are aligned in messaging. Fix any gaps where traffic is bouncing due to mismatched expectation. This is all things you're going to know from analyzing all of that data in January and analyzing your traffic. Above the fold, make sure the first thing visitors see, answer these questions. What is this? Why should I care? What do I do next? This is the most important thing above the fold, especially on pages where you're going to sell to your traffic, like PDPs, sales pages, and things like that. And then add clear value propositions, benefit focused headlines, and action-oriented CTAs are the trifecta for good pages, or at least pages that can help you convert more of your traffic. Friction reduction, so simplify your cart and checkout process as much as you can, and address points of hesitation with trust pages, guarantees, and clear shipping info. As I've mentioned, these points are where a lot of the eyes go through, so you can make very simple changes that can help a lot and give you outsized returns in terms of conversion rate. And then messaging consistency to refine product descriptions, ads, and offers to ensure they're all aligned with your audience specific needs and pain points. And all of this information, again, is all of the information you have collected in phase 1 in January to then reassess your positioning and make sure you position your product correctly on the market to be able to defeat your competition. Then after that, I need to mention one thing about speed versus perfection. So speed is something that is not there in CRO. You can obviously always apply speed in anything in life, as speed is important, but in CRO specifically, there needs to be some time to make sure the data you're gathering and the data you're going through is actually significant. So you need to make strategic incremental changes that can be tested and refined over time. What matters now in February in this step is iterating quickly, testing one variable at a time, so not changing a million things at the same time. So avoiding making too many changes at once and focusing on one variable to pinpoint what works. So focusing on what changed and understanding the impact of that change, and then prioritizing big wins and big impact wins first. So fixing high traffic, high impact area will deliver faster results than overhauling low priority pages. Next is testing and tracking. You need to obviously know if the tests you're making are driving results. Even if they're negative results, you need to know that. You need to have a system in place to be able to test and track these things. So here, how do you track your impact from split testing effectively? You need to first set a baseline. So understand what's your current conversion rate, what's your current AOV, your current revenue per visitor. So you need to record these things before making changes, so you have a baseline. Then when you start A/B testing, you compare existing version of the element with the updated version of that same element. Remember, small singular changes you can pinpoint an increase or a decrease to, and then run tests for at least 2 weeks to gather statistically significant results. This is the standard we use at my agency. This will obviously depend depend on the amount of sessions you're sending to your store and how long it will take to reach significance, but at least 2 weeks is the standard we have at my agency to make sure we are deciding on results that are statistically significant. And if you're on Shopify to split test, you need to use Intelligence. It's the best app out there to run tests on Shopify. You can run any type of tests you think of: copy tests, visual tests, content tests, pricing tests, offer tests, shipping threshold tests, any type of tests you want to run to your store. And they give you a dashboard with all of the information categorized properly. You can segment your audience based on the tests you run. You can read all of the information on their dashboards directly on Shopify. For example, showcasing revenue per visitor, conversion rate, AOV, split between the tests you run. So if you want to run tests on your Shopify brand, you need to use Intelligence. I'm going to leave my link for that in the third link in the description. Then we have heat maps and click tracking. So you need to understand what customers are clicking on your website, how long are they scrolling on your pages, what elements are they interacting with the most. And the best tool I've found for this is heatmap.com. Now this works for any website out there, not just Shopify brand, and it's the only heat map tool that gives you revenue based clicks. So every single click will be attributed to a dollar amount that will tell you what are the elements that are driving the most revenue on your store in this case. And this is the only heat map that I've found has this utility, which is very, very useful. So if you want to understand what are the elements on your store that are driving the most revenue, then you can click on the fourth link in my description and sign up to use heatmap.com. Then we have real-time metrics. Obviously, you need to keep a close eye on changes in conversion rate, AOV, and customer acquisition costs to ensure every upgrade is driving measurable improvements, or if there are decreases, you can quickly address these changes. By the end of February, you should see tangible improvements across your store: higher conversion rates, increased AOV, clear testing insights. So you'll now be running tests for an entire month. So you now have a little bit more information, which you can use to build even better tests, and you're setting up the foundation for the next phase. Next phase is now March. So here we're going to set up the first funnel foundations. By March, you've addressed the foundational issues across your brand. Now it's time to create and test targeted funnels that match customer intent, amplify conversions, and drive higher returns on ad spend. And here's what March focuses on specifically: segmented funnels, so funnels designed specifically for cold, warm, and hot traffic; offer specific paths, dedicated pages for bundles, upsells, or promotions to maximize AOV; and behavior-driven testing, experimenting with layouts, messaging, and offers based on data collected in January and February. Now that in January you've conducted the audit and collected all of this information, in February you've used that information to implement this split test and see how customers are using your store. Now you have even more information to build funnels based upon that information and increase even more conversion rate and AOV. And you do that by first understanding what to test. So not all traffic is created equal. Your funnels need to match the intent of your audience. And here are the key types of funnels to build and test. There are mainly 4 types of funnels here, starting from cold traffic funnels, which are the most important. You need to use educational content like advertorials or listicles to introduce your brand and build trust with the prospect. You need to focus on storytelling and pain point driven messaging that speaks directly to customer challenges, and you need to drive clicks to PDPs on offer pages that highlight your unique value proposition. So first educate, then offer your mechanism, and then sell the product that fulfills that mechanism. And cold traffic funnels I mentioned are the most important here, because going on with the years going on and getting more and more brands pouring in on ad platforms and starting to spend on their marketing will mean that the brand that can outspend all of their competition to acquire a customer will win. So you need to be able to convert cold traffic. Then you have warm traffic funnels, retargeting visitors who didn't convert with personalized offers, testing landing pages with urgency and more FOMO focused copy, and then bundle offers obviously work very well here with a little bit more warmer traffic and prospects, upselling products that complement their initial interests. And then we have at the end hot traffic funnels, which prioritize simplicity. Actually, you just need to send the returning customers to highly optimized sales page on one-click checkouts, getting people immediately a good offer in front of them and then getting them directly to checkout, and testing exclusive rewards or loyalty offers to encourage repeat purchases from people that have already purchased in the past. And then last type of funnel, seasonal or event-based funnels. For example, with BFCM, you create funnels tailored for events or seasonal promotions. And here you can play around with FOMO, you can play around with countdown timers, time-sensitive offers, and limited edition product bundles. By the end of March, you'll have high converting funnels based on selling angles you've researched and understood from your customer base in January and February. You have reduced friction in your funnels, which are designed to minimize drop-off and guide visitors toward specifically checkout, and then clear testing results and a deep understanding of which funnels deliver the best outcomes for your brand. Next phase is April. Here, the name of the game is revenue per customer. Your core systems by April, funnels, pages, and targeting are dialed in. Now it's time to focus on increasing average order value and lifetime value to extract more revenue from each conversion. And here's what April focuses on: maximizing AOV and using strategic bundling, upsells, and cross-sells to encourage higher value purchases, and then experimenting with offers to testing new pricing strategies and tier discounts to drive larger orders. Here, one thing I want to mention, which is super important about offer testing, is most people out there focus on discounts, focus on prices, and focus on these things. These things are obviously important to construct a good offer. But the most important thing about a good offer is offer positioning. We're going to go over all the tactics and offers to use here to increase AOV. But before that, positioning needs to be mentioned. An offer, for example, a bundle, will perform the best when the price is secondary to the effect of the offer. You read that right. The price itself is secondary to the effect of the offer. There is a big difference between these two examples here. Add secondary product to your order and get an extra 15% off on the bundle. Here, as you can see, the price is not secondary, it's the main thing you're driving the bundle on. And the second example I want to make here is secondary product aids main product in the bundle in achieving desired result with extra benefit. Grab the two for an extra 15% off. Here, the price is actually secondary because you're not using the 15% off to actually get people on the bundle. You're leveraging the secondary product ability to aid the main product in achieving that result with an extra benefit, and then putting the price in a secondary place with the 15% off. So you need to be able to position your offer right. But here we're going to go through the types of offers that will help you increase your AOV, which are bundling and upsells. So complementary products to create a perceived value increase. And here, remember positioning. Use post-purchase upsells to recommend additional items after initial sales. A lot of people sleep on post-purchase upsells, and a lot of brands do upsells on product pages, on cart pages. There's nothing wrong with that, but after the purchase, people have already their credit card in hand. They've just literally bought from you, so you can sell them again with post-purchase upsells. Tiered discounts, which incentivize larger AOV with structured discounts. Add-on sales to offer smaller, higher margin items as add-ons here, for example, with what a lot of brands are doing with ebooks and guides with their physical products, or limited time offers which create urgency by offering exclusive bundles or discounts for a short period of time. So by the end of April, here's the outcome. You're driving bigger orders to your store. You're getting more consistently customers that spend more thanks to effective upsells, bundles, and pricing strategies. You have optimized profit margins. You're not offering heavy discounts because your offers are optimized. You're offering strategic bundling and increasing profitability through that. You're building up predictable revenue if you're running subscription offers and you're locking in recurring purchases and a stable cash flow. And you're also increasing lifetime value because over time, customers are interacting with better and better offers that you're putting out, thanks to the fact that now, because you've optimized your profitability and you've not hit them with heavy discounts, you can afford to spend more on acquisition and test more of these offers. So now we are in May, and the name of the game here is iteration, which is the core of CRO and split testing. You need to be able to iterate on the things that work. So by May, your strategy has been tested, refined, and optimized throughout your funnels, offers, your store, your angles. Now it's time to double down on what works. So what May focuses on is iterating on the winning things. So scaling winning funnels, expanding proven offers, rolling out bundles, upsells, and discounts that consistently deliver higher AOV and building better offers upon those, and obviously driving traffic through funnels that are proving that they're selling your product in the right way with the angles you found by conducting research in January, running those first few split tests in February. You're building up that wealth of information, that knowledge base for your brand that's going to allow you to iterate over time and get the most bang for your buck for every single test you run. Now that you have the entire playbook, you have two options. The first one is you taking months out of your year to implement the system and keeping it up month over month to see those incremental improvements from CRO rolling in. You need to remember it's not a one-time thing. Or you can do as many other 7-8 figure brands, which is working with me and my team to let us increase your conversion rate, AOV, revenue per visitor, and overall profitability through CRO and funnel building and testing. You can book a free audit call in the first link in the description with me, and you can also sign up for my email list in the second link in the description, and you'll get a 60-page PDF outlining in depth the entire A to Z step-by-step process to implement split testing for your brand. See you in the next video.